Hello, criminal justice enthusiasts, and welcome back to JudgeSim. In the last episode, we had a close encounter with some kind of masked man at our house. Not sure what the deal was there. We also lost some mental health because I didn't have the money to give my daughter for a smartphone. She needed 700. I only have 539. So I do plan on saving the money up so that way I can give my kids what they want, give my wife what she wants, treat my family right. There are other items I could buy on the store here. Oh, just a second. We'll look at that here in a moment. I don't need $1,000 antique plate. I really am not a fan of plants personally in the house. My mom has a lot of plants, and my job as a kid was to water all of them growing up. So I have an aversion to plants in the house personally, and we definitely don't need a $2,500 artistic painting. There is no award for buying all the items, as far as I know, no achievement for it. So yeah, we're not going to do that. We're going to save our money to treat our family well. Now, I could fix my mental health by going and taking a drink, but my thing is, I don't feel I need to right now, and so I want to let it drop if possible, so that way I can go ahead and get the achievement for the mental health being below 50%. The assassination and the arrest ones are not even close to where they need to be yet, so we'll just have to see how those play out as far as the achievements go. Now let's get back to this with the Brooklyn Troyes. If you remember in last episode, we had a case where his cell phone exploded in his hand and we actually found in his favor. Alright, Brooklyn Troyes was found right and the compensation of $500,000 was paid by the Loophole Company. It's time to remind such big companies about the existence of consumer rights. You are a folk hero. Okay. I'm not trying to be a folk hero. I just try to do the right thing as far as the case. Speaking of which, let's get into this case. Sally John Morgan sued his tenant Daisy Taylor to evict her for not paying her rent on time. Alright, legal action has been taken against Daisy Taylor by Sally J. Morgan for being 3 months late with her rent. The host, Sally J. Morgan, says that the tenant is in breach of tenancy agreement. The host demands that the tenant vacate the property and pay the debts owed by the tenant with interest. My tenant has not paid me a single penny for 3 months, even though I warn him many times he keeps stalling, and if this were not enough, they constantly bring their friends to the house, make noise that disturbs the neighbors. I brought my neighbor who lives downstairs as a witness, so you can believe me on this matter. Witness, whatever Mr. Morgan says is true. Yeah, that's not a good witness. It is true that I have not been able to pay the landlord for a while, but I had to quit my job and I cannot afford to pay right now. I told him that it was not an arbitrary situation and I would pay him when I received my unemployment benefit. However, he is trying to get me kicked out of the house somehow. It's a complete lie that we make too much noise with my friends. Since my downstairs neighbor is a tenant of Mr. Morgan, he obeys his orders. I'm not so worried about that. The fact of the matter is you owe him rent. I can't read what it says, but I'm assuming it says you will pay your rent on time. Let's go ahead and talk to him. Mr. Morgan, is it true that Charles Goodman, your downstairs neighbor whom you called as a witness, is your tenant? That's true, Your Honor, but I don't understand its relevance. Mr. Goodman, is it true your upstairs neighbor and her friend make so much noise that they disturb you? Sound? Noises? Oh yes, I remember. Normandy codes. The voices are echoing in my ears. Officer, can you go ahead and detain the witness, possibly tase him? Smell of gunpowder and the sound of bullet cases. Achoo. I don't want to talk to Charles Goodman anymore. I am concerned he's going to start shooting up the courtroom. Whatever Mr. Morgan says is true. Miss Taylor, you said in your statement that your landlord tried to get you evicted. Why do you think that is? He's trying to evict me and raise the rent, but he can't do this because we have a contract. Normally I would never miss my rent, but this getting fired thing was unfortunate for me. This played into his hands. My thing is, if I could read this, that would be a good thing. Yeah, there's nothing there. I don't care about the testimony. The whole thing to me comes down to one particular portion here. 3 months late with her rent. Vacate the house and pay the remaining debt with interest. You know, I mean, I don't know the... Maybe I should... No, I don't even have the law book. I can't even look at the law book here. So we have to make this decision just on our own. So I'm going with my personal view on it. If you sign an agreement saying you're going to pay for something, you need to pay for it. Personally, I have student loans. A lot of people I know in today's society are big on the fact that maybe the government should forgive student loans. I don't see it that way. I took those loans out myself. I made that decision. I need to be a responsible adult and pay that. In the same way, if I have a car payment, a rent payment, a house payment, any type of payment, I chose to have that payment. I need to make that payment. It is not the other person's responsibility to pay for me or to endure my issues. So, yeah, they can be unhappy about it, but they need to actually pay their situations. All right. Our cat still is the only one that really reacts to us. Our wife hasn't moved at all. She hasn't said a word to us. She's probably dead. That's what I'm guessing. Bill passed. Immigrants who commit crime will now be deported. All right. Well, I think that's fair. We should definitely deport them if they have committed a crime. Are you an immigrant? Don't think so. I believe you are actually from the country. You are a criminal. You have a record. And you seem to be sane. Connor McLean. Participating in street racing, violation of traffic safety and rules. Alright, so let's pull up that part of the time of instigation, public prosecution offenses, traffic offenses. Alright, so he did both of these. So his fine, if he's found guilty, is going to be $12,500. Alright, so we know that. Recently, the traffic police came across a street race while the patrol and followed suspicious vehicles. After a long chase, the person named Connor McLean had an accident with the vehicle he was driving. After his accident, he was taken to the hospital by the traffic police, and after his treatment, he was arrested and detained. Except for Connor McLean, no driver was caught by the police. Well, that's fine. They still caught him. First of all, I am not a street racer. I have no connection with other vehicles. I was just passing by in my sports car. All I did was increase my speed to get away from other vehicles as soon as possible. My only crime is that I was speeding. It has nothing to do with racing. Alright, that's his side of things. Let's see what evidence we have here. Okay, so this one's going to go all the way to the top. Looks like this one's going to go all the way to the bottom. This one's going to go to here. This one seems to be going to here. This one's going to go up here. And this one's going to go right there. There we go. Alright, what evidence do we have? Speed measurement of the vehicle used by the person. 224. The license plate belonging to the vehicle located in the trunk of the vehicle. I mean, this game has had some wording issues. So do they mean on the trunk of the vehicle? Because if it was in the trunk of the vehicle, that's more suspicious. Mr. McLean, you stated in your statement that you are not a street racer. Why did you run away when the police officers tried to stop you? Your Honor, I thought the police stopped me because I was speeding. I ran away to avoid a traffic ticket. You have been street racing in the past and got caught. Do you have an explanation about this? Your Honor, this time it's pure coincidence. I was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. That's all. And why was your license plate inside so it was inside the trunk of the car? Because I took my license plate off to get my car painted and forgot to put it back on. Yeah, you're going to be found guilty of both offenses here. Oh, and you're a criminal. That's right. You've got a criminal record. So you get the aggravated. All right, participating in street racing and violation. So we've got 2 years in jail on each of these, so that's 4 years, and then $37,500. Ouch. Make sure there's nothing I'm missing. No, nothing there. Not going to buy any plants or anything. We are going to find you guilty. I just want to check again. It is 4 years. Yep, 4 years, $37,500. My short-term memory sometimes is a real issue. Alright, so $37,500 and 4 years in prison. I'm going to be a tough judge. If you commit the crime, you are going to serve the time. At the same point though, if somebody is innocent, I will, without a question, say that they're not guilty. I got no issue with that. Alright, so we got another case here. Nothing went on at home, really. Let's see what we got as this case. Alright, this is an immigrant. He doesn't have a criminal record. Adrian Bowen. Helen Lona's mobile phone was stolen while she was walking on Victorina Street. Camera footage of the place called Coffee Vic, located where the incident took place, was examined. In the line with the investigation, it has been concluded that the person in the image is named Adrian Bowen. Adrian Bowen was detained by the police for questioning while he was going to the market where he worked. I was walking on Victoria Street when I walk on certain days of the week, but that day I decided to walk in the opposite direction to the direction I normally walk. While everything was going well, someone suddenly took my phone from my hand. I couldn't even react because of the surprise and fear I felt at that time. After I put myself together, I asked for help from those around me. In the evening, I close the daily gross market where I work and walk in the opposite direction of my house. My wife and I are constantly arguing due to financial concerns, and my children do not have much peace of mind. Because of these events, I was very confused and had difficulty thinking clearly. Suddenly, I saw a woman walking in front of me and noticed that she was carrying a phone in her hand. The phone looked very luxurious and expensive. Because of the difficulties I was experiencing, this phone seemed like a very attractive opportunity to me. I thought if I could sell it, I could at least alleviate financial concerns a little. Without any plan, I reflexively grabbed the phone from the woman's hand and started running. Afterwards, I turned off the phone, put it in my pocket, and went home. So he admitted that he took it. There is one digital evidence in this case. Alright. Face recognized. Alright, so he's on footage. He did it. He's gonna get deported. Have you known Helen Lona before? No, Your Honor. I did not know her before, but I occasionally saw her while walking. You admitted that you committed this crime for your own reasons. Do you regret committing the crime? I am absolutely sorry, Your Honor. I still cannot understand how I committed such a crime. I am very embarrassed towards my wife and daughters. Please forgive me. Sorry, we're not forgiving you. As I said, I am a fair judge, but I am tough. Charge is extortion. Seems like the wrong charge to me, but that's what they're going to say here. Let's see. Theft crimes. Extortion. Doesn't have a record, I believe. No criminal record. But as I said, he is not a legal citizen. So, gonna have the sentence here. Alright. Alright, so we've got the 2 years. Oh, I guess I have to choose one or the other. That's sort of unfortunate. I think I should be able to do both. He is an illegal. He committed a crime. That's going to be the main decision here. We'll deport him. As a result of the decisions you made in the cases, we decided to raise your salary. This week you will earn $1,200. Awesome. Yeah, I mean, personally, I think he should have spent 2 years in prison, then been deported. But maybe maybe our country doesn't believe in that. I guess it's whatever it is. All right. Let's withdraw that money. There we go. We got plenty of money on us. Wife is wanting something here. She's not dead. Your wife wants a car. A weekly payment of $1,000 would be a total of 9 weekly payments. Once accepted, the first installment is paid right away. Oh, I don't think I have $1,000 a week. I'm not sure I can make that work. No, I'm going to say no to this one. All right, so my mental health is below below the 50% there. We're going to leave it that way. Oh, there we go. We got the mad judge there. So our mental health fell below that. I'm sorry, but for one, you could move once in a while and you could go get a job. I'm willing to buy the kids stuff once in a while, but $1,000 a week? What kind of car are you wanting? Corvette or something? Good Lord, lady. All right. Well, you know what? Before we get done then, since we already got the mental health one, let's go ahead and recover some of our mental health. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and recover that mental health there. Nice. Let's have another whiskey. Another whiskey. Alright, we're still doing alright financially. We're back up there. And we're back to 100%. So, we lost some money for it, but you know what? We drank a lot, and we're back to good mental health. So, now we're the drunken judge as well, I'd say. But you know what? We haven't been arrested. We haven't been assassinated. Overall, I've treated my family fairly well. I do feel bad about wasting the money on this horse. I do feel bad about that. I should have bought the kid a smartphone. Or was it the daughter that wanted... One of them wanted a smartphone. I think it was the daughter, actually. Should have bought her that. You're not getting $1,000 a week. If it was $1,000 once you wanted, fine. I could have been okay with that. But you haven't even moved. You haven't made dinner for us. The kids just sit around all day. What are you doing as my wife? Sorry, you need to put some effort into this marriage because it's getting ridiculous here. I am a judge after all. I could file the divorce proceedings while at work even. All right. With that being said, I am just joking in case you were wondering there. But with that being said, if you liked what I did this week in this episode, please go ahead and click that like button. If not, all right, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel, click the bell icon, so that you're aware when I produce new videos in the future. Thank you, and I hope to see you all again for another episode of JudgeSim.